Alright, so the last video I had was multiplying and dividing integers with models, okay? Today we're going to be using, we're still going to be multiplying and dividing integers, however, we're going to be using it using an algorithm, okay? An algorithm. I'm going to write it right here. Now, what is an algorithm? Well, it is just a set of rules, okay? And we're going to figure out what those rules are in just a second. So if the signs are the same, then the answer is going to be positive, okay? And we're going to back that up with some examples just now. If I get a highlighter, I'm going to show you that this says a positive times a positive equals a positive, okay? And here we have an example. Positive 6 times positive 5 is positive 30. And they have the same signs, positive times positive. Now, it's true when we multiply our negatives as well, because a negative times a negative also gives us a positive. And the example they gave us here is negative 6 times negative 5, which also gives us the product of 30, positive 30. If the signs are different, then the answer is negative. Okay, and I can show you what that looks like as well. I'm going to use a different color here. And I'm going to show you that a positive times a negative is a negative. Positive 6 times negative 5 equals negative 30. And a negative times a positive is a negative. And our example here is that negative 6 times 5 equals negative 30. So we're going to start working on some expressions, okay, that can give us the final product or quotient. It really depends on whether or not we're multiplying or dividing, and we can do both here, to find negative 18. Okay, so I'm just going to use a few examples. These aren't the only examples, they're just some examples. According to our rule, a negative times a negative has to be, or a negative times a positive has to be a negative, right? So in order to get this negative number, I have to have a negative number and a positive number, a negative number and a positive number. So I'm going to start out with something easy. I'm going to say negative 2 times 9. Different signs is a negative value. 2 times 9 is 18. So we have negative 18. Let's see, I can go with 3 times negative, well, my bad, I wrote an 8. Should not have done that. Should be a 6. Sorry about that. 3 times negative 6. That again gives us negative 18. We can do like a division thing here. 18 twice is 36, so we can say negative 36 divided by 2. That would also give us negative 18. And then, of course, we can go with something else. Let's say, let's just flip the first one, and we can go with negative 9 times 2, okay? Again, those are just some, those are not all, okay? Those are just some examples. All right, going to working on 40. Here we can use a lot of things, okay? We can use positive and negative numbers, but they have to be the same sign to get a positive result. So 40, let's start with something easy. I can go with 4 times 10. I can do 5 times 8. Now let's add some negative values. Remember, a negative times a negative is positive. So what if I did negative 20 times negative 2? Same signs, but with a positive result. 20 times 2 is 40. 2 negatives make a positive, okay? And then I'm going to use my examples from B. I'm just going to switch them around and make them negatives. Negative 8 times negative 5. For 12, we can start off simple. We can do 2 times 6. I'm going to say 36 divided by 3. And then I'm going to make it a little challenging. Negative 4 times negative 3. And I'm going to stick with my negatives. I'm going to do negative 12 divided by negative 1. All of those work to give us a positive value of 12. When we look at 28, we're going to look at factors of 28. Of course, it's negative 28, so one has to be positive, one has to be negative. We can say negative 4 times 7. We can say 14 times negative 2. We can also say, let's think, 28, what gives us 28? We just do positives. You can do 7 times 4. And then we'll stay true to this one. We can just say negative 20. Oh, wait. I'm going to say negative 7 times 4. I apologize for that. I'm going to say negative 28 divided by 1. Easy, right? It's not too bad. Let's work on the next ones. We're going to think about factors that give us 24. Quickest ones I can think of is 2 times 12, negative 4 times negative 6, 48 divided by 2. And then we can say negative 12 times negative 2. Awesome. For negative 20, we're going to say negative 4 times 5, 10 times negative 2, negative 40 divided by 2, and then we'll say 5 times negative 4. 7 is interesting because 7 is a prime number, but again, you don't only have to multiply, okay? So the easiest one here is going to be 7 times 1. We could do 14 divided by 2. We could also do negative 21 divided by negative 3. And then we can do negative 7 times negative 1. For the next one, negative 15. We'll start with negative 3 times 5. We'll switch it and go with negative 5 times 3. Then we can do negative 15 times 1. And negative 15 divided by 1. Awesome. Let's go ahead and go to some more examples. All right. So there's a lot going on here. It says Quinn and Leo are playing a game where they are given 2 numbers and must multiply them together to find the third number in the row. Then they will multiply the second and third number in the row to find the fourth number. They continue until the row is completed. If the person with the largest number value in the 5th row wins, who is the winner of each round? Okay, that's a lot of words for something really more simple, okay? We're going to multiply these 2 numbers to find our next number. Then these 2 numbers to find our next number. Then these 2 numbers to find our last number. Okay? So, different signs. 2 times 5 means I'm going to get negative 10. Same signs means I'm going to have a positive. 5 times 10 is 50. Different signs says I'm going to have a negative. 10 times 50 is negative 500. We'll do the same thing with Leo. 4 times negative 3, different signs. That's going to give me a negative value of negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 3, different, same signs, is going to be a positive. That's going to give me a total of positive 36. And 36 times negative 12, it's going to give me a negative. But we need to solve this, so let's go ahead and do that quickly. 36 times 12, okay? I'm going to take this 2, multiply it by the 6. That's going to give me a 12. I'll put my 2 down there, and I carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cross this out. I'm going to cross this out. I've already used it. I don't need it. And because I crossed this out, I need to represent that with a 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. I add my partial products. My answer is 432. However, when I multiplied it, they were different signs, which means my product will be a negative. Negative 432. Now, who is the winner of round 1? It's not Quinn. The number is bigger, but she's in the negative. This is about money. If you owe more money, you are not winning. She owes more money than Leo does. They both owe money, but Quinn owes more. Leo is closer to 0. Therefore, Leo in this round is our winner. All right? Round 2. We're going to follow the same steps, different signs. Negative 3 times 2 will give me negative 6. Different signs will be negative. 2 times negative 6 will give me negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 6, same signs, is going to give me a positive value. If you don't know what this is, 12 times 6, 6 times 2 will give you 12. Carry your 1. 6 times 1 is 1, plus 2 is 7, 72. Therefore, it is a positive 72. We had the same signs. It gave us a positive product. Same signs, answer will be positive. Negative 1 times negative 5 will be 5. Different signs, negative 5 times negative 5 times 5 will give us negative 25. Different signs, our product will be negative. 5 times 25, I'll do it right here, times 25, or times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry my 2. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2, 125. But it's a negative, so I have 125. This is a negative value. This is a positive value. Quinn is our winner by default. She has more money than Leo. Sorry, Leo. That's just how it is. Let's talk about this next page, or this next part of this page here. Excellent. So here we have 65 divided by negative 5. So I'm going to say 65 divided by 5. Because they're different signs, I know my answer will be negative. 5 can fit into 6 once. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. You pull down your other 5, and 5 can be multiplied into 15 3 times. Because it's a negative value, it's negative 13. 81 divided by, negative 81 divided by negative 9. They are the same sign, so our answer will be positive. 81 divided by 9. 9 can be multiplied into 81 evenly 9 times. 9 times 9 gives you 81. You subtract, you have no remainders. Therefore, your answer is 9. Negative 49 divided by 7. We have 49 divided by 7. 7 can be multiplied evenly into 49 7 times, which gives you 49. You have no remainder, but Because we had different signs, I know my answer is negative. Therefore, it is negative 7. Excuse me. For number 5, we have 84, or negative 84 rather, divided by negative 6. They are the same sign. Therefore, our answer will be positive. 6 can go into 84, or 8, once. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Pull down your 4. 6 can fit evenly into 24, 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 minus itself is 0. Therefore, our answer is 14. Now, negative 76 divided by 19. They are different signs, so I know my answer will be negative. Now, in case this ever happens, because we don't often use 19, you can make a list off to the side and skip count basically by 19 or by 20 minus 1. So 19 plus 20 minus 1 is 39, minus 1 is 38. 38 plus 20 is 58, minus 1 is 57. 57 plus 20 is 77, minus 1 is 76. Therefore, 19 can fit into 76 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Because we had different signs, our answer is going to be negative 4. 56 divided by 8. They are both negatives. They both have the same sign. Therefore, our answer will be positive. 8 can be multiplied into 56 evenly 7 times. We have no remainders. Same sign, so our answer is positive. All right, on this question here, there's a story problem and then some steps, okay? So let's go over the story problem real quick. It says 1 January day, and I like to underline key information. The low temperature in Fargo, North Carolina was negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature rose. Rose is past tense for rise. That means it's going up. That's why I drew an arrow going up, okay? So the temperature rose 4 degrees every hour for the next 6 hours. That's crazy. So after 6 hours, what was the temperature? Okay. So what do we know, right? I know that the low temp was negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. I know that it rose 4 degrees. So it rose 4 degrees Fahrenheit each hour, well, every 6, or for 6 hours, that's what I should have wrote. Each hour for 6 hours. What do we need to know? Well, we need to know what we need to know is after 6 hours what the temperature is, right? So what we need to know is after 6 hours what the temperature, or what was the temperature, okay? Perfect. When we plan and work this out, okay, based on our stuff that we know, the first number that we witnessed or experienced here was negative 8. And then it rose, it went up. If it's going up, we are adding 4 degrees each hour for 6 hours. This is nice because this kind of introduces what's called PEMDAS, okay? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. When you learn about PEMDAS, you have to understand that this means multiplication, and multiplication comes first in this particular problem, okay? So 4 times 6 will give you a product of 24. I'm going to drop my plus sign and drop my negative 8. Negative 8 plus 24, or 24 minus 8, will give you 16. Our solution is that after 6 hours, the temperature was 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Awesome. Well, I hope that helped, and yeah, see you later.